Good afternoon, guys. Today is January 28th. It's about 12:30 on the East Coast. So, today's talk, gonna have to do a little bit with yesterday. Excuse me. So I was talking to a coworker. I started serving again. I haven't served in about 9 years. And I was talking to a coworker of mine. She's relatively young, 19 years old. Um, and asking her kind of what she thought her future was. And like most kids around, or most people around her age, she didn't really know what she wanted to do. She had told me maybe botany would be an interest of hers, with some future plans, hopefully creating medicine out of working with plants. So, she, towards the end of the conversation, she asked me, you know, why all these serious questions? She's so young and she doesn't really know what she wants to do. And the advice I gave her and that I would give to you guys is to try a bunch of different things. Um, Fortunately for me, I did try a lot of stuff um, while I was going through, after I graduated high school and even during high school. I tried a bunch of different sports. Most of them I was mediocre at. I tried, um, football, basketball, and weightlifting and wrestling. Out of those four sports in high school, I stuck with weightlifting because I like the individuality of it, and I felt like it would represent me the best. Um, and I was still on a team. Now, by no means was I good at all at it, but I wasn't terrible at it, and I felt the best doing it. I really tried, and I gave it my all. Um, I definitely was one of the few people who would show up to practices, which was kind of astonishing to me in the beginning. I was like, why don't people come to practice? To me, that would, be essential if you want to get better. But most of the people, unlike me, had more natural abilities. I was like, 103 pounds back then, and I couldn't even lift my own weight. I was in the lowest weight class, and almost a reason why I got recruited was because I was so light. I was only, like I said, 103 pounds, um, and I got really into it. That was my freshman year. Every year after that, I put on about 10 pounds and kept moving forward. And I did it through my junior year because my senior year I did dual enrollment. So I didn't get a chance to, compete my senior year, I don't think. And, but either way, I had tons of fun doing it. And if I would go to compete, a majority of the time I wouldn't do that well, but I still had fun doing it. And, like I said, the other sports I tried, I didn't like the atmosphere. Wrestling tried, and I just didn't like it. Football tried, didn't like it. Basketball tried, and I got a concussion, so I didn't think that was for me. So I guess the moral of the story is you have to try different things to see what you feel comfortable at. And I want to tie this into kind of how I stumbled upon this passion. And I don't want to say stumbled upon because for me everything happens for a reason and everything works out in my life. Even if I don't think it's meant to work out that way, it typically ends up working out that way really well for me. And I'll give you an example here. Sorry about that, guys. So the example that I have for you is kind of where I realized I had a passion for serving people, mentoring people, leading people, and coaching people to a certain extent. So I kind of realized it when I got out of high school. I was looking for something to do, and I decided to go through a firefighter academy here in Florida. I went through that academy, passed exceedingly well, and then after the academy, you have to go to EMT school, which by no means I would say is easy. It was a lot tougher for me um, than the firefighter academy, but I decided to go there. Upon finishing EMT school, I decided to talk to some family then about joining the military and seeing what my options were with that. So I decided to do that, and I ended up joining the military before I actually became a firefighter. Um, I did. I served 8 years in the military. Went to a number of different places here stateside, and then toured in Iraq, and then also went to Korea for some time. But all that kind of led me to thinking. When I got out of the military, I decided to go back to school, and I had completed one degree, my associates in the military, and then was trying to finish my second degree, my bachelor's. Now, so throughout all this, I kind of realized that I had a passion for serving people. To me, it couldn't have been more clear, but reflecting back, obviously you get a chance to connect things and realize that, firefighting would have been serving people. The EMT would have been serving people. The military is almost an essence of serving people and your country. And I was one at one point in time who could have told you myself, no, I'll never join the military. And then some opportunities arose, and I was able to do that, to serve in the military. And we'll talk more about that in later. But that's kind of where I realized my passion, and tying it into today's talk is that it took me a lot of experimenting and a lot of trying different things to realize that this is my passion. Now I have a passion to teach and educate people about my experiences and how they can avoid certain mistakes I made, or my path to getting where I am today, which by no means is terrible, and by no means is a great success in a lot of people's eyes. I'm very proud of what I've done, and I wouldn't change anything that I've done in the past. I believe it's all experience that I can now hand down to young people today that I wish I would have known when I was younger, going through that high school age where at some point in time you just realize, you have no idea what you want to do. But for me, the answer was trying different things, and being good at certain things, really trying. Like I said, I didn't want to join the military, but when I went wholeheartedly, against my parents' wishes, against a lot of people's wishes. But I felt like it was the right thing to do, and because I felt that way, I excelled at it. I did a lot of great things in the military that I'm very proud of. Um, but it took me to try different things to realize that that is why I am where I am today. And now I feel like I can give back to the community, and on a larger scale the world, by sharing my experiences and the things that I've went through to get to where I am today. And to me, this is only the beginning of another chapter. And what I mean by that is I see myself, like I've said on the first video, on like some sort of grand scale. I can't quite paint the picture for you, but I see myself in front of hundreds, if not thousands of people, talking to them. And that is ultimately my dream, and to do that and share my experiences. And through what I've gained and the knowledge and everything along the way, I'm looking to give back. And this is a pure passion of mine, hobby that I've decided to devote my time and efforts to. Aside from everything else that I got going on in my life, this is, to me, a passion that I have right now. So I want to give you guys that piece of advice. If you take away anything from this video, just take away that you have to try different things. Um, Even if you think that at one point in time that it wasn't for you. Like I said, I wasn't fond of joining the military, but I did. And I'm very grateful for the experiences that I had and the friends that I made and everything along that way that came with it. And kind of what put me here today. I mean, now I can talk to people about being in the military. I was on the enlisted side and made it up to staff sergeant, which isn't, you know, very low. It isn't very high, but um, in the army, it's a position that comes with prestige and a lot of responsibility. So I can talk to people about that now. Had I not taken that leap of faith to join the military, I wouldn't be able to offer that. So everything up until this point is just something that I can be able to offer people and talk to them about. And that's what I'm looking to do, is communicate with people, let them know my experiences, how things went along the way for me, and that way you guys can decide for yourselves. But you have some insider experience as to, what worked for me, what didn't work for me, the things that I've tried, and, you know, what to stay away from, and then what to go towards. So again, just try different things, see what you end up liking, and then try to connect the dots looking back, because that's when it's easiest. You can't see into the future too much. You can have these dreams and passions like I have, and I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but I know that taking steps and some sort of action towards it is better than staying stagnant and not doing anything. Um, when I tell you I believe in my heart and soul that this is what I was put on this earth to do, this is what I believe, and this is what I know that I was put here to do. And you can do other things in the meantime. Like I still have a job, I still go to school, um, try to raise my daughter, and be a good husband to my wife, and all these other things that I'm trying to do at the same time. But you still have to work on your dream, even if it's a little bit every day. I mean, these videos aren't terribly long, and I know they're not the best quality, but I have to do it. I can't explain it, and it's a feeling that you get. When you get that feeling, you'll understand that there's an emotional connection to it like nothing ever before. And I notice this because of the effort and the time that I put into this. It's on my own time, it's on my own. Nobody's paying me to do this. Nobody's asking me to do this. Um, if anything, people might be against me doing this. But it's still a dream of mine and a passion I have to pursue, and I will not give up on it. Not at all. Not in the least bit. So please take these tidbits of advice and see what you think of it. Leave me some feedback as to what you guys think, and anything else that you guys like me to talk about. That's just going to be today's talk. Like I said, I have a bunch of focuses to focus on here in the future. But as I go through these daily experiences in life, like yesterday, and asking that girl about her future, I realized certain things, and I'd like to, add different caveats onto it so you guys can get my perspective as well as other people's perspective, because I think that's important. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions or anything, I believe I'm still at 0 subscribers. I don't know how to quite build that yet, but I'm thinking of possibly collaborating with some people, seeing how that goes. So we'll see. Stay tuned for some more. Again, don't give up on your dreams. Make sure you follow them. Build some sort of path to these dreams, and ensure to leave a legacy. And that's what I'm trying to do every day by making these videos. So, thanks again. Take care, guys.